Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH The Flame Emperor Part 45 based on novel. So let's start. In the cave that was divided from east to west on the third floor of the infernal corpse forest, with a burst of space squirming, a mysterious person suddenly appeared in front of Xiao Yan's eyes. In the space, people who appear at random, even if they are as powerful as Kai Ling Long Yi, have never seen them, so Xiao Yan's heart is full of curiosity about this person at this time. Xiao Yan looked at the man in front of him carefully, and saw that he was about the same age as himself. After all, his cultivation base had reached a certain level of strength, and age and appearance were not so important. However, this figure is slender and looks very handsome. She was wearing a silver long gown with silver light shining from time to time, very beautiful. This man had a smile on his face, giving people a very cordial feeling. There was a strange brilliance in his eyes, which made Xiao Yan feel an indescribable mystery. The silver figure in front of him was also looking at Xiao Yan, but there was a hint of surprise in his eyes. This is the kid who has entered the secret realm, and there are indeed some secrets on him. Xiao Yan was also the first to break the deadlock and said, "Who is your excellency? You don't need to know who I am, you just need to know that I'm not your enemy." The silver figure smiled lightly. Through the perception of huge soul power, Xiao Yan knew that the strength of the silver figure in front of him was extremely terrifying. According to Xiao Yan's guess, Wu Jiang was not as good as the silver figure in front of him. Moreover, Xiao Yan also discovered that even the soul power of the Emperor Realm mortal level can only detect a general situation in this cave, which is very surprising to Xiao Yan. In the end, the silver figure in front of him could come here from another dimension so easily. This is very rare, and Xiao Yan is also extremely curious about this. The silver figure in front of him also seemed to have guessed some of Xiao Yan's questions, and then someone laughed. "You can just call me Xiao Ye. What's your name? I think that although you are young, your strength has reached the level of the early stage of the 4-star Do Di, and it is also extremely tyrannical. And you have the same thing that surprised me. According to my observation, there are several different flames implicit in your body, which is a very strange thing. A kind of flame is extremely violent and powerful, not to mention the fusion of so many flames. Ordinary people can't have so many flame powers at the same time, especially flames whose properties are mutually exclusive. But you have several flames in one body, which may be the difference between you and ordinary people." The silver figure is also not in a hurry. Said, obviously the secrets of Xiao Yan have also seen some clues. As for Kai Ling and the Golden Dragon King, it is difficult for even the strong fighting immortals to detect, so Xiao Yan is not worried. And the most important thing is that Xiao Yan didn't feel murderous aura from this silver figure, so he started talking with him slowly. Hearing this, Xiao Yan was also shocked. He didn't expect that he could see at a glance the secrets that he was carrying several kinds of flames. Xiao Yan said softly, "My name is Yang Xiao, I came here by accident, why is your excellency here? Looking at you, it seems that there is a hint of evil aura hidden in your body. This is obviously not the ghostly aura in the corpse forest. What's going on?" When Xiao Ye heard the words, her eyes flashed, and she looked straight at Xiao Yan. Then Xiao Ye smiled and said, "Your eyes are very sharp, you can even notice it, but if I tell you I've been here for a long time, and naturally I have a little ghost, do you believe it? Or, do you believe me when I say I'm a ghost? Actually, no matter who I am, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that there is no misunderstanding between us now. Just like now, everyone is happy together, why should you care about my identity? Just like I don't ask you, why do you have several flames in your body, do you think so?" Xiao Yan thought about it for a while, then smiled and said, "That's right, meeting is fate. You come to see me from another dimension, it can be considered a fate. No matter what happens between us in the future, at least now we can live in peace and be a pair of unfamiliar but familiar friends." Xiao Ye's face was overjoyed and she said with a smile, "After so many years, I have finally found someone who can talk. It's really hard to wait. Now I'll take you to another place to sit for a meeting. Let's have a good chat. You remember to follow me closely, don't lose it. Be careful, let's go." After Xiao Yan finished speaking, her hands moved to the left and right, the space in the cave was squirming, and suddenly a door of space appeared again. I saw Xiao Yan's slender body turned into a silver light, like moonlight, and shot into the door in an instant. However, Xiao Yan turned into a milky white light, and disappeared in a blink of an eye. With a flash of brilliance, that door of space disappeared in an instant. When Xiao Yan appeared again, he was already in a very bright and dry cave. Taking a closer look around, Xiao Yan knew that this was where Xiao Yan lived, but he didn't know why he lived here. Xiao Yan couldn't guess at this point for a while. Xiao Yan smiled and said, "Sit down, you guessing, why do I live in such a place? In fact, there is nothing. As long as you check carefully, you will find that this cave is different from other places in the infernal corpse forest. This place is full of fighting chi suitable for you humans to absorb and cultivate, and it is the place where Emperor Chi gathers in the entire Yin corpse forest. If you are interested, you can try to see if you can absorb some Emperor Chi to enhance your cultivation." Xiao Yan hesitated for a while, looking at Xiao Yan. A strange thought occurred in his heart. In Xiao Yan's heart, the feeling of Xiao Yan is very strange. He understands that his soul power will never go wrong. The news he found from Xiao Yan is that Xiao Yan has a powerful aura. It's just that this breath is not a ghost breath. Although I don't know what kind of breath it is, this breath has slowly transformed into another kind of breath. Even so, based on Xiao Yan's excellent soul perception, it can still be judged that his strength is definitely not weak. Maybe, as he said, he is not necessarily a ghost. If he is a ghost, would you like to be with him? At this moment, Xiao Yan's thoughts were racing in his heart, and suddenly, he remembered what his master, the Golden Dragon King, said. I remember that my master Jin Long King once said that in this world, the so-called demons and ghosts are not all bad, just like people have good and evil. If that's the case, why should he care too much? As long as he doesn't have any malice towards him, that's enough. Thinking of this, Xiao Yan smiled. In another place, Mu Ying also stared at a well and said, Big Tiger, is this the place you're talking about? Yes, it's just that the creatures here are very powerful. I think we should not go down, otherwise I'm afraid. Before the humanoid Tian Huosheng whose words were finished, Mu Ying rolled up her sleeves, and then it turned into a ray of light and entered the well. My little ancestor. After Tianhua's sacred tiger finished speaking, he followed, for fear that something might happen to this little aunt. Hey, the ghost energy on the third floor of the corpse forest is really serious. It seems that the finals should be here. The top 10 powerhouses are also gathering here one after another, the battle of the powerhouses. But why is the ghost energy on the third floor so weird? I can't tell you the specifics. Luo Guang also appeared on the third floor of the infernal corpse forest and said to himself, I don't know why, the Emperor's energy in this cave is quite strong. At this time, there are only Xiao Yan and the silver figure Xiao Yan in the quiet cave. The reason why Xiao Yan followed Xiao Yan through the space was because of a message from Long Yi on the ancient ruler of eternal fire behind him, so Xiao Yan also followed with peace of mind. Looking at the cave a little, he found that the Emperor Qi in the cave was very strong, and that ghost Qi was also isolated by some mysterious power. Xiao Yan smiled and said, You are right, although I noticed something abnormal in you, but since we're here, we're friends. After speaking, I also felt that Xiao Yan had not changed, and then started the burning dew, ready to give it a try and absorb the Emperor Qi here. The next moment, the milky white flame light on Xiao Yan's body slowly surrounded his body, and Fen Ju suddenly displayed without warning. In an instant, countless flames of air flashing with various lights appeared in the cave, colorful and very splendid. At this time, the Emperor Qi in the cave instantly moved towards Xiao Yan's body, revolved around him rapidly and was inhaled into his body the next moment. Xiao Yan is like a bottomless pit. The huge and rich Emperor Qi in the cave continuously flows towards Xiao Yan's body. Xiao Yan is also slowly absorbing these breaths, and his body has an indescribable comfort. Seeing this, Xiao Yan's face changed slightly, and there was a trace of contemplation in her eyes. He seemed to be thinking about what kind of practice Xiao Yan was using at this time, and why he had never seen it or heard of it. Seeing Xiao Yan constantly absorbing those Emperor Qi, Xiao Yan didn't care at all. She said with a smile, Slowly absorb it, wait until you have finished absorbing it. These hours will protect the law for you. When Xiao Yan heard this, he felt relieved and absorbed the Emperor's qi in the cave, because what Long Yi said before was that the person in front of him was probably the most powerful being in the entire infernal core. Silver Moon Sirius. It was rumored that the Yinyu Sirius was extremely friendly, and the Yin Corpse Forest became stable under his management. Legend has it that Yinyu Sirius in the Yin Corpse Forest lives on the 3rd floor, and it is very difficult to find him, but every time someone encounters Yinyu Sirius, they can get a lot of benefits. Got it. Several kinds of brilliant flames flickered on Xiao Yan's body, and he liked the gentle Emperor's aura here very much. Because Xiao Yan was at the bottom of the volcano when he conquered the dragon soul in the secret realm before, and absorbed a lot of flame power, the flame in his body was also quite excited. At this time, seeing this extremely gentle Emperor Qi, he naturally likes it very much. The neutralization of the two can also help Xiao Yan to continuously expand the sea of Emperor Qi in his body. Therefore, under the operation of Fen Ju, his body can't help but frantically absorb it. Time passed minute by minute. Xiao Yan was slowly absorbing the Emperor Qi in the cave until the Emperor Qi in the cave became thinner, and then he slowly quit the cultivation state. After a while, Xiao Yan smiled and said, "The Emperor Qi here is very helpful to me." According to Xiao Yan's guess, he just broke through the 4-star Do Emperor not long ago, and now you have absorbed such a huge amount of gentle power, so his strength should be stabilized at the level of the initial 4-star Do Emperor. Your Excellency has always been here, no wonder your cultivation is so deep. Xiao Yan also laughed. I have lived here for thousands of years, and I have already seen the matter of cultivation. Birth, old age, sickness and death, human nature, the way of cultivation, and longevity is just a moment. Xiao Ye also muttered to herself. You said that this is the entire infernal corpse forest, the place where the Emperor's qi is the strongest. I don't know what this place is. Xiao Yan asked. Xiao Ye smiled slightly and said, You don't have to worry about this, I will tell you later. Let's talk about something else now. Are you finally going to show your true face? Xiao Yan also smiled secretly. From what Long Yi said before, Xiao Yan knew that Xiao Ye should be asking for something from him, so he treated himself like this, otherwise he would treat him like this. If you have the strength, you will definitely not be able to last 3 rounds. What's the matter with your Excellency? It's better to say it. If I can help, I will be happy to help. I want to ask you, you should be an alchemist with a high rank, right? Xiao Yu also looked at Xiao Yang with a smile. Xiao Yang was slightly taken aback and said, I don't know your Excellency. Xiao Yang was also guarding Xiao Ye at this time. After all, the soul of a high-level alchemist is extremely powerful and delicious. Maybe some people are good at this. Don't worry, of course I have no other intentions. I only asked this because I asked you for it. After all, few people dare to enter the 3rd floor of the infernal corpse forest, let alone a powerful alchemist like you. Xiao Ye said. I can barely make medicine pills. As for other things, even if I want to help, I can't help. Xiao Yang also laughed. Obviously, other than making medicine pills, Xiao Yang really didn't need to do anything else. The strength of this person is extremely terrifying. But this matter has to wait for my competition to end, there are still more than 10 days. Xiao Yang also suddenly remembered. This is no problem, and it's not too short of time. Xiao Ye said. If that's the case, let's talk about the reward. Xiao Yang also laughed. Obviously, although the strength is only in the early stage of the 4-star Do Di, compared with the Xiao Ye in front of him, it seems like a big witch, but don't forget that Xiao Yang is an emperor. A pharmacist of the 1st rank, the appeal of a pharmacist is. He is really a careful little guy. Isn't the previous Emperor Qi not enough? Xiao Yu said. Since your Excellency has turned to me for help, then the medicinal pills that I have refined must be of high rank. I should receive a little reward, but the Emperor Qi just now is not enough. Xiao Yang is also a high-level artist. Big way. Aren't you afraid that I will kill you? Xiao Ye smiled, but the smile was full of danger. I believe that my refining skills will make me worthy of this reward. Xiao Yang also laughed. His aura was not weak at all. He, what a daring little guy. There is also a reward, it depends on whether you have the courage to take it. Xiao Yan said with a smile. Oh. What did your excellency mean? Xiao Yan was also surprised. If someone as powerful as Xiao Qian could say this, then it is very likely to be a great treasure. The treasure I'm talking about is the treasure in the entire Infernal Corpse Forest, and it's on the 3rd floor. It's just that there is a person next to this treasure whose strength is comparable to mine. Xiao Yan said. Hearing that, Xiao Yan's pupils also shrank tightly. Although the treasure is loved by everyone, if there is a person next to the treasure with the same strength as Xiao Yan, you have to look again, because the strength of Xiao Yan is very small. Yang can't see it through. According to Xiao Yan's guess, this Xiao Yan is at least at the level of 6-star fighting chi. If you want to take something from the wallet of a 6-star fighting emperor, it is more difficult than going to the sky. The current Xiao Yan is only the strength of the 4-star Do Di in the early stage, and Xiao Yan is also self-aware. Don't joke, Your Excellency, how would I dare to fetch this treasure? Xiao Yan also wondered. There must be a way. It depends on whether you want this treasure or not. Xiao Yan also smiled slowly, and there was some strong confidence in her voice. That's... Xiao Yan also muttered, there was some fiery in his brown eyes, since Xiao Yan said so, there must be a way. There is a way, it depends on your ability and courage. Xiao Yan also laughed. I haven't tried it yet. Xiao Yan also laughed, with a strong confidence in his voice. After 10 days, it will be the yin moon of the Infernal Corpse Forest, and the ghostly aura of the Infernal Corpse Forest will also become stronger. I will take action against that person on that day, so that's your chance. Don't stop, I have to remind you in advance that there are inevitably some things like you around the treasure. If you can't get them, don't blame me. Xiao Yan also stared at Xiao Yan after saying that. 10 days later. Xiao Yan muttered to himself, there are still 14 days before the points plundering competition, 10 days is also possible, and he immediately nodded to Xiao Yan. Then it's a deal. As for the refining of medicinal pills, I will find you when the game is over. Xiao Yan also laughed. Then wish us a happy cooperation. Xiao Yan also smiled, obviously this kind of fair cooperation also made Xiao Yan's eyes shine. Xiao Yan showed a hint of approval in her eyes, and said loudly, okay, don't back down in the face of a powerful enemy, you are considered a kid with ambition, but since you are going to this, you must have the faith to fight with the world. Senior, have you seen my 2 companions, one male and one female? Xiao Yan also asked, and the title changed from Your Excellency to Senior. Of course your 2 companions saw it, but don't worry, they are still in a safe place. When you go back from here, you can see them. But it really surprised me. One of your 2 companions is an inheritor, and the other is someone who masters the powerful yin-yang gossip technique, but you are much more powerful than the 2 of them. Senior is wrong. Xiao Yan also responded politely. The strength of the silver figure Xiao Yan in front of him is also unfathomable. Xiao Yan has no choice but to admire so many things just from a simple inspection. You don't have to be humble. From the fact that you can come here, you can see that you are stronger than the 2 of them. Because to come here, there are only 2 entrances, one is the entrance of the Forbidden Enchantment, and the other is a very mysterious place, that place is called the Secret Realm. If I guessed correctly, you entered the Secret Realm and came here according to the instructions, am I right? Xiao Yan also asked. Xiao Yan smiled, but he was not surprised. Senior, you really know everything, I don't even know what to say. But I did enter that Secret Realm. As for the 3rd floor of the Corpse Forest, I was also guided. But take the liberty to ask, Senior, do you know anything about this Secret Realm? Can you tell me something about that Secret Realm? Xiao Yan smiled lightly and said with a slightly mysterious smile, there are 2 of the most mysterious places in the entire Yin Corpse Forest, just like here. When I first came here, that mysterious spatial secret realm already existed. Although I have thought of a lot of ways to get in, it was not until a few years ago that I reluctantly entered by virtue of my own strength. There. In that secret realm, I found a strange red air mass, which I later learned was a dragon soul. I once thought about conquering it, but unfortunately for some reason, I still failed in the end. I can't think of where you entered by chance this time. But what's even more strange is that I can feel the breath of the dragon soul now, and it seems to be in the heavy ruler behind you. This is really surprising to me. There was a hint of surprise in Xiao Yan's eyes. He never thought that Xiao Yan could see how terrifying his strength was. Immediately, Xiao Yan also tightly wrapped the ancient ruler of eternal fire hung behind him. Don't worry, since this dragon soul has chosen you, then I won't be others. After all, fate is quite mysterious. Xiao Yan saw Xiao Yan's small movements. Xiao Yan said with some surprise, the dragon soul in the secret realm is indeed in this heavy ruler, but it was only after a lot of effort that I sealed it in this heavy ruler. I didn't expect you to see it at a glance, Senior. I really admire it. Xiao Yan smiled and said, actually, it's nothing. When your cultivation level rises to another stage, you will naturally understand many things. Meeting you this time is also a kind of fate. Didn't you always want to ask me just now, how can you break open a space at will, from this space to another space? I'll teach you now, it's our fate. After all, I'll leave here soon after I've dealt with the matter in 10 days. If you don't pass on the space shuttle skills, you will also be lost. I'll pass it on to you. This is actually my unique stunt for more than 2,000 years. Even if other people are as strong as me, they can't cross the space at will. Xiao Yan finished speaking, her hands clasped slightly, and then she kept flying in the air. Change handprints. The next moment, a strange silver light appeared from Xiao Yan's finger, and then instantly enveloped Xiao Yan's head. Xiao Yan also stared at the silver space passage in front of him, his expression dignified. On the Do-Chi continent, the strong Do-Zone can walk on the void, the strong Do-Zun can break through the space, and the strong Do-Shen can open up a small space. However, according to Xiao Yan's observation, the space channel constructed by Xiao Yan is more like a quite perfect space channel. Ordinary space passages are filled with dangerous fluctuations. After all, the interior of space passages is extremely unstable, and the variables inside are unpredictable, not to mention the safety of people who want to go to another place through space passages. It's just that the silver vortex space channel in front of Xiao Yan is quite different. There is no dangerous aura at all, and there is only an extremely gentle force maintaining this channel. And the most important thing is that what Xiao Yan uses is space shuttle, not a space channel. These are completely two concepts. It takes a lot of time to reach the space channel but the space shuttle can be reached in an instant. Do-Zun can break open the space, but the broken space is broken open by Do-Zun with external force, so it is only a space passage. Although it can be entered by people, it can't achieve 1,000 miles in an instant. The space channel is different, it is the use of internal battle chi and space to create a subtle connection, so that the space connected together is not an exaggeration. What a profound technique! Xiao Yan also secretly exclaimed. Despite the powerful soul in his body, he still couldn't see through the changes in the handprints that Xiao Yan had just displayed. Obviously, something was needed. Did you see it clearly? Xiao Yuzaidu waved his hand, and the space channel in front of him disappeared instantly. No? Xiao Yan also shook his head and said, after all, Xiao Yan's technique was quite profound, and it was also the first time Xiao Yan had seen him, so he said it simply. Ha ha, then watch it carefully. Xiao Yan also said patiently, and after speaking, she began to rehearse. In the cave, Xiao Yan's handprints were constantly changing, and the space passages also appeared and disappeared again and again, while Xiao Yan watched intently, not letting go of any detail. Ha ha, it's not a waste of time for us to learn this in less than a day. Xiao Yan also smiled and was very satisfied with Xiao Yan in front of her. Thank you, Senior. Xiao Yan also bowed deeply to Xiao Yan, because in less than a day, Xiao Yan learned the magic skill of traveling through this space. It was precisely because he learned the magic skill of traveling through space that Xiao Yan knew how powerful this Xiao Yan was in front of him. That's why he respectfully bowed to Xiao Yan. Since it's over, I think it's time for me to go too. But you have to remember that if you want treasure, you have to go to the well earlier. Although I told you something about the well, after all, There are a lot of little-known secrets in the well. Finished, it was also the silver light that flashed away and disappeared in an instant. Yeah. Xiao Yan looked at Xiao Yu, who was far away, and replied softly. Xiao Yan, do you know who he is? Seeing Xiao Yan leaving, Leng Yi, the ruler above the ancient ruler of Yihuaheng, also said. He should be the overlord of the corpse forest you mentioned, the Yinyu Sirius. Xiao Yang also said in a hurry. You actually know? Now it was Long Yi's turn to be surprised. The reason why he didn't dare to show up just now was because Xiao Yang devoured his power of origin, causing Long Yi to be severely damaged at this time. Appearing in front of Yinyu Sirius is undoubtedly a self-destruction. I already knew. And Xiao also knows that you are in my heavy ruler, but you just didn't make a move. Otherwise, do you think you can escape? Xiao Yang also laughed. Obviously, even now Long Yi has become in the end, he is still greedy for life and fear of death. You devoured my source power and hurt my vitality, but I'm too embarrassed to tell me. Do you know what it was like back then? Wait. The Dragon Soul was also talking non-stop, and then Xiao Yang ignored the Dragon Soul and carried the Yihuaheng ancient ruler behind his back, looking at a certain part of the cave. ~1 ~1 The next moment, his eyes lit up, his hands clasped together, and then the handprints on the fingers kept changing, and a very strange silver light instantly flew out from Xiao Yang's hands, and then went towards a certain void in the cave. The darkness in the cave was illuminated by the silver light, and then the space wriggled strangely, and suddenly a meter of space appeared in the cave. Success! Xiao Yang also looked at the silver space shuttle in the sky and said excitedly. Let's go, it's time to go back. Xiao Yang finished his words, and then his body turned into a milky white flame, and he traveled through the passage towards the silver space. The milky white flame light just entered the silver space shuttle, and the silver space shuttle in the middle of the cave slowly disappeared, as if it did not appear. At this time, peace was restored in the mysterious cave. Xiao Yang, Yueru, there's no need for us to go towards the center point when we come to the third floor of the corpse forest, right? I heard that there are powerful creatures on the third floor of the infernal corpse forest. The overlord of the entire infernal corpse forest, Yinyu Sirius, lives here. The strength of this Yinyu Sirius is extremely terrifying. There is death but not life. Mu Feng said to himself. Xiao Yang, did you listen to what I said? Mu Feng finished his words and found that no one responded to him, so he turned his forehead to the back and glanced at him. I didn't know this, but I was startled when I saw it. Xiao Yang? Yueru? Mu Feng found that the two of them were not found behind him, and he couldn't help but raise his voice a few decibels. This third floor is really weird. Mu Feng also found out that something was wrong, and then he was clinging to his body with a grudge, and looked around vigilantly. Although Xiao Yang and Yueru couldn't be seen, Mu Feng also vaguely felt that they were by his side, but they were blocked by these strange things. The third floor of the infernal corpse forest is really strange. Why is the ghost energy in it getting more and more serious? I hope I don't encounter the silver moon Sirius. Mu Feng murmured, and then his legs and pupils kept turning. At this moment, Mu Feng was surrounded by endless darkness, and the ghost energy was like some thin gas. Yin-yang gossip, throw the universe, break it for me. Suddenly Mu Feng saw a bright spot in front of his left, and he immediately exerted his vindictive energy to the extreme, and then attacked that spot of light. The huge blue-colored do chi gushed out from Mu Feng's body, and then with the sound of bang, 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 like glass breaking, Mu Feng also returned to the place where he had just dispersed. Look, isn't Mu Feng here? A man with a heavy ruler looked at Mu Feng and said. It's really dangerous. I didn't know what kind of inexplicable power it was just now. I felt like I had entered an enchantment, but then it was also a quilt. Mu Feng said a little proudly. Xiao Yang also laughed, and then he didn't say anything more. Yueru and Mu Feng did indeed enter a barrier, but they did not break the barrier by themselves, but Xiao Yang performed the space shuttle technique. The two of them were so easy to ask for the barrier, otherwise they would rely on two human strength. It is quite difficult to deal with that mysterious enchantment. After all, It was set up by Yinyu Sirius. How could it be broken so easily? The three of them chatted with each other for a while, and found that they were still unresolved, but one thing can be concluded is that the three of them accidentally entered the barrier by mistake, so the previous scene appeared. Since everyone is fine, let's take a rest first. Xiao Yan also said, and he could see that there were a lot of dangers lurking on the third floor of the infernal corpse forest. Leaving the enchantment area outside the mysterious cave, the three of them also kept moving towards the depths. After a while, the three of them found a leeward place and sat down cross-legged. Xiao Yan also raised a fire in front of him, and the three rested beside the fire together. Xiao Yang, in fact, I have always had a question, that is, if we are avoiding the powerhouses in this point-grabbing competition to protect our points there is no need to enter such a deep place. This corpse there seems to be some terrifying existence in the depths of the third floor of the forest, which is what worries me the most. Mu Feng also said in a humming tone. Actually, I don't know either, but there is always a voice guiding me, and that voice seems to be in the depths of the third floor of the corpse forest, so I am getting closer and closer. And one of the important things I participated in the selection competition this time was also on the third floor of the infernal corpse forest. Xiao Yang also muttered. Xiao Yang didn't intend to hide them, but this matter involved too much, and Xiao Yang didn't want them to know. Oh. Mu Feng was also surprised. This infernal corpse forest is a place full of ghosts. How could there be such a strange voice as Xiao Yang said? As for the thing that exists in the depths of the third layer of the corpse forest, you don't have to think about it, you know that there must be a strong guardian guarding it. However, when he thought that he had been helped by Xiao Yang ever since he entered the infernal corpse forest, his heart also became turbulent. Mu Feng is not a ruthless bastard. Since this is the case, then I have no choice but to give up my life to accompany the gentleman. Mu Feng also said after a little thought, and the moment he spoke, he deliberately put on a determined expression, which made the two of them burst into laughter. Let's have a good rest today. If you hurry up tomorrow, you should be able to reach your destination. Xiao Yang also said with relief. The night was very quiet, the voices of the three people kept coming from the bonfire, and the laughter were endless. The night passed quickly, but the day and night in the corpse forest can't be distinguished with the naked eye. After all, the corpse forest is surrounded by black ghosts all day long. Only the token in hand can know the day and night, as well as the point looting competition. The remaining time. 13. Yueru also glanced at the token on her waist. Let's go. Xiao Yang also took the lead. Yueru and Mu Feng also followed behind Xiao Yang. Long Yi, do you know the exact location of the dry well? Xiao Yang also used his soul power to communicate with Long Yi, but Xiao Yang also found that his master Jin Long King rarely spoke recently. Obviously, it was like this when he came out of the secret realm, so Xiao Yang did not bother. Isn't the Yin Yu Lang very specific before? Long Yi also said depressedly. After all, Long Yi just saw what Xiao Ye attached to Xiao Yan's ear and said with his own eyes. Do you know? Xiao Yang also asked with a frown. This is not Xiao Yang's intention to make things difficult for Long Yi. After all, what Xiao Ye said just now only mentioned that the huge treasure was in the dry well on the third floor of the infernal corpse forest. As for the location, it was not mentioned. I know, go this way. Long Yi also motioned to Xiao Yang. Xiao Yang also strode forward, and then the huge soul force constantly enveloped the surroundings to prevent any enemies. After all, the first layer of the corpse forest is a bit mysterious, so it must be treated with care. Afterwards, the huge soul force also vaguely felt that there were several quite powerful forces, one extremely hot, one extremely powerful, and there was some extremely strange aura in the depths, but it was too far away, so it can only be roughly feeling it, then shook his head and walked up quickly. Xiao Yang, what's wrong? Mu Feng also noticed something wrong with Xiao Yang's expression. It's okay, I found some familiar auras, but I don't know who it is. After that, he smiled at the two of them. Forget it, let's go to the destination first. Okay. After speaking, the three of them also walked towards the place where the dry well was. Damn. How come the restrictions here are so powerful, and the three of us can't open it? The ghost spirit also stared at a giant black doorway in front of him. The ghost spirit and the ghost spirit of the secluded spring, together with the combined efforts of Hongye, the Lord of the Red Valley, did not shake the black giant door in front of him, so they couldn't help but stammered a bit. The restriction on this giant gate is so powerful. Hongye also wrinkled her eyes slightly, gently stroking the black giant gate. The red leaf's shallow jade hand just touched the black giant door, and the cold feeling immediately hit the whole body. Suddenly, a very small grey energy also overflowed from the door, and then hit the red leaf. Above the black giant door, there was an extremely horrible fluctuation spread out. Rewind. When the three saw the grey energy, they suddenly backed away. It wasn't until 10 meters back that the grey energy looked around and returned to the black giant gate. This black giant gate is so weird. Yuquan said ghostly. This black giant gate is to besiege the other half of the twin ghost emperors. Breaking through this black giant gate is where the other half of the twin ghost emperors is sealed. The ghost also looked at the black giant gate in front of him with resentment, and found that the three of them were people are also helpless. It seems that we can only wait until the yin moon comes 8 days later. After all, by that time, the ghost energy in the entire yin corpse forest will skyrocket, which will greatly increase our strength. When the time comes, we will have a lot of confidence in breaking this giant black door, said the ghostly spring. After the three of them finished speaking, they were just about to leave, but they found that a rather strange aura slowly appeared from behind. Who is it? Hongye was also the first to sense this aura, and then the terrifying 6-star Do Emperor's aura showed off. Cough, cough, cough. It's me. A weak voice also slowly came from the void. Twin Ghost Emperors? Hongye was also quite surprised, looking at the black figure in the cloak in front of him. Hongye vaguely found that his breath was very sluggish, and he was obviously seriously injured. What's wrong with you, Ghost Emperor? The ghost also supported the twin ghost emperors, and then the strange black ghost energy in his body was continuously transported away, completely ignoring whether it would hurt his own origin. The twin ghost emperors are not just the superiors of the ghost, and the two are not as simple as the relationship between the superior and the subordinate. Because the life of the ghost was saved by the twin ghost emperors, so the ghost also voted for Li and was loyal to the twin ghost emperors. Yuquan kept rolling his eyes on the side, staring at the injured twin ghost emperors. Obviously he had some plans. Our stronghold in Hongshan has been exposed. These Xiantian people should know about our plan. While I was absorbing the last two human beings, I was seriously injured by the last two powerful humans. Cough, cough, cough. He said, coughing violently. Can't wait any longer. The plan must be advanced. Chi Mai also firmly supported the Ghost Emperor and said decisively. No, the ghost energy has not penetrated into all the participants, and planning ahead will only make us fall short. I absolutely disagree. Yuquan also said angrily. Yuquan, do you know who you are talking to? Chi Mai also said angrily. Don't think of anyone here today starting early. Yuquan Ghost also said angrily. Yuquan, I think you're impatient with your life. The ghost spirit shouted loudly. Humph. I don't know who is impatient to live. Hongye, go up. After the ghost spirit of Yuquan finished speaking, the ghostly energy all over his body was also permeating out. A strength comparable to that of a human being in the early stage of the 5-star Do Emperor suddenly appeared from the ghost of the secluded spring. Damn, you actually broke through the 5th rank secretly. The ghost was also surprised. Originally, the strength of this secluded spring was only comparable to the strength of the human 4-star fighting emperor in the early stage. After absorbing a lot of ghost energy in the cold pool where the twin ghost emperors appeared, it reached the peak of the 4-star fighting emperor like the ghost spirit. Level. At first, the ghosts didn't pay attention, but now I realize that this secluded spring is too cunning. The ghost is the subordinate of the twin ghost emperors, and its strength is comparable to the powerhouse of the peak of the 4-star fighting emperor, but the peak of the 4-star fighting emperor and the early stage of the 5-star fighting emperor are very different. The face of the ghost was also solemn at this time. Hongye, don't listen to the ghosts of the secluded spring, and fight against the Ghost Emperor. What will your lover do? The ghost also understands that a ghost of the secluded spring is not a threat, and the most important thing is the master of the Red Valley, Hongye, powerhouse with the initial strength of the 6-star Do Di. When Hongye heard the words, her eyes were also slightly wrinkled, and then she looked at the ghost of the secluded spring, obviously worried. Don't worry, Hongye, if you help me succeed, don't talk about your lover's life, even if you want this Xian Tian to kill your lover's blood, it's a trivial matter. Yu Quan also laughed. Ghost Emperor, you go first. I'll stop them. After the ghost said, it was also behind him who killed the twin Ghost Emperors. Don't even try to run away. Yu Quan Ghost Spirit also greedily looked at the severely injured twin Ghost Emperor and the ghostly Ghost Spirit. If you devour them yourself, then your own strength. This video will end here.